Check, check, check.
And we are looking forward to continuing on. We'll talk to some of our student athletes as we continue on with the show. Stick around. More of the Nathan Brown Show coming up next from Walk-Ons here in Conway. Is that okay? Is it not too loud? You all right? Give me a mic check.
Mic check.
Okay.
Mic check.
All right.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's fine. Get you a little more. Okay, give me a 2.
Mic check.
There you go. Nice.
Good.
All right, welcome back here to Walk-Ons in Conway. The Nathan Brown Show continuing tonight here in Conway. And sorry about had a little audio issue, I think, on our stream out of the gate there, Coach. Got that cleaned up, and we're going to talk to a couple of players, a couple of homegrown Bears tonight, and looking forward to that. We're going to start with the defensive side. Ashton Williams, a sophomore linebacker from Little Rock, went to Robinson High, and appreciate you coming on this tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
You are. You played well this weekend, 9 tackles, and you've led the Bears in tackles so far this season. So tell me about the sophomore campaign, your goals going into the season, and what you were hoping for this year.
My goals going into this year is trying to be all conference, mainly trying to win, but in the end goal, try to be all conference. And being a sophomore, I'm trying to step into a leadership role, sort of. But I was red shirted. Then last year got a few snaps, so just trying to step more into a leadership role, like the team needs.
Yeah.
So.
You come from a program, high school program, that had a lot of success. How would you compare and contrast sort of your high school experience to what you're going through now with the Bears? And obviously, this is a program that expects to win. Kind of a tough start out of the gate here, but it's a program that certainly has winning expectations. How would you sort of talk about your high school days to where you are now?
I would just say they're pretty similar, but I would just say that it's on a higher level. So I mean, everybody's good on this level. So uh, you just got to practice the way you play. I would say practicing harder, more intentional, sort of how you're going to be in a game like situation. Every play during practice is really a big thing. Try to go as hard as you can every play. I probably say that's the biggest difference.
What did you like about Central Arkansas? What was the attraction other than it's close to home? How much of a draw was that, and how much was the rest of the program a draw for you? Or what was it about it?
I really at an early age when I first started playing football, I saw Arkansas and I saw UCA and I saw that it was close to home. So I just really wanted to play for the state of Arkansas.
Yeah. Have you always played linebacker? Did you play some offense in high school too, or what's your background?
In high school, I played a little bit of call it an H-back,
Yep.
like a tight end,
Okay.
just blocking, mainly
Yeah.
blocking.
They didn't throw it to you much?
Couple routes here and there, but mainly blocking for
Yeah.
our running back.
What else did you play growing up?
I played running back when I was 10 till about 12, 13.
Okay.
Then I transitioned to linebacker, H-back
Yeah.
type of role.
You found that hitting is better than being hit?
Way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
What about other sports? You play other things growing up?
I played basketball
Okay.
until I was in ninth grade.
Okay. You
And
guys
then
ever play pickup now with the team? Anybody on the team play?
Oh, we play here and there in the hyper.
Yeah.
In the off season, but not
Who's
during the season.
who's the best football hooper?
I haven't seen this year, but last year was definitely David Walker.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That seems unfair. What a freak.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We're talking to Ashton Williams, who just tuned in again from Little Rock, went to Robinson High School and leading the Bears in tackles so far this year and had a 9-tackle day, half a tackle for loss as well. Still looking for that first elusive sack, and I don't know how long or how many times they're going to let you, get in there. I know you've got different responsibilities, so sacks may not be a high priority, but are they turning you loose some as part of the defensive package?
Some here and there, but just got to make the play.
Yeah.
That's really it.
How would you rate your pass coverage? How do you do on that part of the game?
That's probably. I'd say I'm about 75%.
Okay.
I gotta grow into pass coverage, but I'm more of a downhill type of guy. But
Yeah.
just gotta grow into it.
Coach Brown referenced the change in defensive leadership this year, and it's a familiar coach to us because we've seen him here before. Not for you guys though. So how much of a transition has that been for you about the way things are called, about the way he operates, and what you guys are doing defensively?
It's been a smooth transition. Last year we were downhill, plugging your gap, just fill your gap. That's all last year, but it's more of a schematic, bigger schematically this year.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta be mentally prepared for games, thinking about different formations and different things like that, coverage wise, and different schematic things.
Yeah.
For more plays this year.
Who takes the calls for the defense?
Who takes them?
Yeah.
Me.
Okay.
I take.
Yep. So how does that work? Tell me how that operation is supposed to work, and how has it gone so far this year? I know it's still relatively new at this level.
I hear he presses a button on his side, hears it I hear it through the mic.
Yeah.
Mic comes through my head. I communicate it with the front, communicate it with the wheel linebacker. The wheel communicates it with his side. I communicate it with my side.
Okay.
So,
how much do you guys change the calls week to week, or do you? I mean, and if you're adding some unique package defensively, I mean, is that a completely different call, or is it you guys work out of stuff you already know, or how does that work?
we add things. He has a really big variety of different plays that we know. So it's just week to week.
Yeah. What are your interests outside of football, or do you have any?
I like to fish.
Okay.
I like to fish.
That's cool. For anything in particular?
Bass. I like bass. I like crappie.
Where are your spots? Where do you go?
I go up to Morrilton. Sometimes I go to around Little Rock. Sometimes I go to Fort City. Sometimes I just go different places. Maumelle, Benton.
Yeah.
Different areas like that.
Who brought you up fishing? How'd you learn all that?
My grandpa.
Okay.
My grandpa.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How about academically? What are you studying up here?
Finance.
Very nice. What's your long-term goal?
I want to be a financial advisor.
Okay.
Hopefully, if I can make it to the league, I want to be my own financial advisor. But
I like that.
If I can't, then I want to be a financial advisor for either a bigger company or an athlete or somewhat along those lines. fine.
So physically, tell me how it's been for you in your second year now. Just taking more snaps, playing a primary role now. How are you holding up physically through a month of the season here?
I would say I'm holding up very well. Better than I thought I would be, just because the competition's bigger, everybody's bigger, harder hits, different things like that. But it doesn't seem to bother me very much at all.
How was the trip back for you guys? I mean, I was just thinking, it's like for us, kind of sucked. I mean, we're up there, and I'm like, oh, this is miserable. We're getting home at 5, and I'm like, think about being like a full-grown person and like playing a whole football game and then getting on a plane for 3.5 hours. So how was the trip back for you guys from Sacramento?
The trip back was pretty rough. I mean, I don't like road trips at all. I don't like sitting in one spot for too long.
Yeah.
So and I had little knee here and there, little ache. So
yeah.
Just sitting in one spot for a long time is just a little rough for me. But after that, I mean, went to sleep, was up early in the morning, and after that, I was fine.
I got it. Well, a little different scenario this week. I mean, it was a very creative, difficult to defend Sacramento State team, and not to say that Lamar won't be difficult to deal with, but a little more focus. Like they want to run it, and they want to run it, and they want to run it some more. So tell me about your thoughts this week, I guess, going on the road again. Again, long road trip. You're on a bus this time, I guess, for a long time instead of a plane. Right. But, and facing Lamar versus what you guys saw last week.
I mean, for me, this is my type of game. This is me written all over it. Our defense is really well plugging gaps for a team like this. I think that defensively, this is going to be our game. This is going to be our breakthrough game for sure.
Yep, feel good?
Oh, yeah, feel great.
So, I mean, these last couple of weeks have been tough, obviously, but this is, you're talking about top-level competition, and, the skill guys we saw this last week were pretty phenomenal, and you saw the breakaway speed, and then, the week before, I mean, and Tarleton was dealing, and I don't know if you saw Coach, their quarterback, unfortunately, went down with an injury this last week, and I was thinking, I mean, never wish injuries on anybody, but I was like,
we've had enough of those. Yes. I'm not going to wish that on anybody.
No, I wouldn't either, but I'm thinking, it would have been okay if, you waited, you did it a week earlier, it would have been all right, but that was tough, and there are different kinds of offenses for sure. But, I mean, you guys faced a lot the last couple of weeks here.
Oh, yes, sir. We have.
Tell me about your thoughts on the opener, too. I mean, making playing your role, going to Missouri to open the season. I mean, going in front of an SEC environment, that'd be a pretty cool way to start the season for you guys.
Oh, yes, sir. It was nerve-wracking before the game, but as soon as the game started, first snap, I was fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
That's just football, right?
That's right.
Easy peasy. Well, good luck this week, Ashton. Appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate it.
All right, very good.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Good stuff right there. Excellent. So you got, a handful of guys. I mean, Ashton's one of them. We see like your second leading tackler, or other leading tackler, I guess, of the day was Dewperson, a guy that we've seen play quite a bit of football. But it's kind of been a nice blend this year, I think, Coach, of guys that you're familiar with, you trust. Like we were talking about Malachi, as a guy you knew you were going to be able to count on. Yeah. And then you see Pollard come in and rise to the occasion. He's making big-time plays for you guys. So it's been a good mix of old and new, I guess, this year.
It is, and I think that's college football. I think that's going to be the way it is. There's no question about it. One thing I know about, I just want to brag on him, but Ashton Williams is a bad dude. I mean, he's how you want a football player to be. Mentality. I mean, if you could mold a linebacker, they look like him and they play like him. He wasn't lying, Coverage he's got to get better at, but look, we signed him to go hit people, and but he's got to diversify a little bit, and he knows that, and he gets put in some tough spots sometimes, but when that ball's snapped and it goes downhill, usually the man on the other side's going the other way if Ashton hits him, and that's what it's about. But man, yeah, it's just him stepping up and being who he is. I've been very, very vocal about my thoughts on what his potential is, and he's meeting that potential and excited about that. And I think it's a big moment this week for our defense. I'm looking forward to watching those guys perform and play and just get some confidence about them. And go against a very talented Lamar team that tries to be the most physical team every Saturday they play. So It's going to be a fun matchup.
Before we hit the break, I want to ask you about coverage with linebackers. And I saw it seemed like in a number of games this weekend, and it was NFL and college, and people trying to scheme the other team up and get, whether it's, receivers or tight ends who can really run matched up in space with linebackers. Do you try to keep that from happening? Do you expect your linebackers to be able to cover receivers and tight ends out in space, or What's the plan or thinking there with those guys?
Well, I think in a perfect world, you're not necessarily worried about zone coverage with your linebackers, no matter what the position is. I think when you get in man situations, if you get schemed up and they end up on a receiver, that's when you get trouble, right? We do that sometimes where we'll move. I mean, you see Malachi in the backfield, you see Manny in the backfield. I mean, we do things where we try to get some matchup problems too. That's just what offensive coaches do. We're going to try. If you're telling me that I can get your third, fourth, fifth worst defender on my best receiver, I'm going to find a way to do that, right? And so, a lot of it's based on the call and timing. They got to have the right call at the right time against the right coverage. And what you ask your guy to do in that moment is just get it down, make a play. You know what I'm saying? Don't limit the explosive play because you're putting your kid at a disadvantage in that situation.
We're going to take a timeout. We'll talk to Malachi Henry. He's plenty explosive himself, and we'll visit with him coming up in just a second. We're live here at Walk-Ons in Conway. It's the Nathan Brown Show. Looking forward to getting into some talk about Lamar. We'll take a look at what happened in the league last weekend, check the national rankings, and a few other things as we continue on here from Walk-Ons in Conway. Stick around. All right, welcome back here to Walk-Ons in Conway. Justin Acree, Nathan Brown, the Nathan Brown Show. Bears Saturday back on the road at Lamar down in Beaumont, Texas. And, Coach, it's a place you know well. You guys have had really some good memories down there over the years and some outstanding individual performances, some good team wins. And he played some pretty darn good teams from Lamar over the years as well. But looking forward to going back. I know another road trip, a long one on the bus is tough, but it's a big opportunity for your team this week.
Well, I'll say this: that's not an easy place to go play.
No.
And some of it's the distance, some of it's the. There's just something about that stadium and atmosphere. I don't know. It's tough. I mean, you got to have a little self motivation in that game. You got to get the long trip out of your head. They always tend to have talent. I mean, that's a talent rich area to recruit to. But yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of success down there. I mean, none of that matters this year. We've got to go do it and perform. But we've had a good run against Lamar, and a lot of that was during the Southern Conference days.
Was some good times though. Blake Beasley's a name that always pops up when we think about Lamar.
I wouldn't mind having a night like that again.
Yeah, well, I think Mr. Chambers has certainly got the capability of having.
He's got the ability to do that for sure.
There is no doubt. Well, we know Malachi Henry's got plenty of capabilities as well, and 19 for 212 this year and a touchdown. He's a leading returning receiver from last season. Had 41 for 683 and 5 touchdowns, and he is one of our guests tonight representing the offense. And good to see you. How are you?
Good to see you. I'm doing great.
Great. We got a chance to hang out before the season began, and the coach is really excited about your second year. I'm sure you had to be excited about coming back and kind of being the guy as opposed to being one of the guys last year.
Yeah, 100%. And just looking back and going through game plans and stuff, it feels like we're trying to get myself and other people involved. We got a stud back there, running back, toting the rock, and I feel like we're also surrounded. I'm surrounded by a bunch of talent in the receiver room, and we're starting to see that through Tyrell Pollard. I think he's been balling recently, and once we get Ty Durham a little more involved, I think this offense can really spring and come back to life. Yeah.
How about with Coach Brown's new role? How has it been having him calling the plays and handling that part of the team?
I've been loving it. He throws in a lot of new wrinkles and stuff each week. If we hit on something big, he'll try to scheme it up, even if that's from a motion standpoint or a formation standpoint, to where we get to the same spots, but it just looks different from a defensive perspective. And so I think it's really cool to see his creativity in this offense.
Yeah, he's getting some more wrinkles lately too. It's a stressful job.
We need to go win a game. That'll help.
I agree.
Take the wrinkles right out.
Yeah.
How about for you, the last couple of games facing Tarleton, who's top 5 team, looked like it, played like it. And then this last week, I mean, there's big expectations at Sacramento State. We know they got a really talented roster. A lot of team speed. I thought they did a good job being in the right place most of the night, too. Makes things tough. They didn't make a lot of mistakes to give you guys anything. So how has it been from your perspective the last couple of weeks?
I think I've been seeing the field really well, trying to find creases and holes and gaps in the defense and taking the top off when I can. But, I mean, at the end of the day, all 11 have to be firing at the same time for a play to work. That's what makes football so cool is it takes so many different people to be doing the right thing for you to be successful. And so I know from my perspective, and I kind of hold the receiver room to the same standard of we have to do our job. And when the ball does come our way, we have to take advantage of it and help out guys back there throwing it, Luther and the O-line. Just take some pressure off those guys so LC can keep running for 100 plus.
Yeah, how's Luther been for you?
He's been awesome, outstanding, hard worker. Like Coach said earlier, warrior. I was fighting for him last game. I'm like, guys, he's hooping. We have to do our part. He's playing his tail off. We have to go out there and fight for him. And so it's been really cool to see him start his first 4 games.
Yeah, and then you're getting Austin back in the mix. What's your rapport like with him, and what do you see as sort of the uniqueness or the differences maybe and some similarities between the two quarterbacks?
Similarities, they're both really accurate with football. I think Luther adds a more physical running style. I think Austin's a little more elusive with his, like, in the pocket. But I think both of them can make the offense go. I think once Austin gets back, it's going to be even more tough on defenses for them to see 8 and 5 back there. I think they can both get it done.
Well, Pollard's been getting it done too. You referenced him, and he's had a good start to the season. We were sort of wondering who'd emerge as that other guy with you, or the other guys that would emerge with you, and he's certainly risen to the occasion. He's been a matchup nightmare. He's a bigger guy, and he's been running by guys as well. It was impressive, and it could have had a couple this weekend, but he's certainly doing really well. What have you seen from him, and surprised at all? Did you see this coming in camp?
Not surprised at all. And I told him, I was like, dude, you messed up from the beginning because you show that you can go up and get it from the top shelf. I said, so for me, I expect that every single time the ball goes in the air. I expect you to come down with it. And and majority 75% of the time he does. So it's really cool to see. He's been nothing but great. We needed him to step up to a bigger role, and he's doing great doing that.
So what's your room like? I mean, tell me about the guys in there.
I think we have a bunch of talent in here. Coach Jake Walker likes to call us the best kept secret in college football, and right now we're trying to figure out ways how to make that not a secret anymore. Like I said, trying to get Ty Durham more involved. Arlie Lee's back. Tristan Edwards, Manny Smith, getting those guys involved because we can all affect the game in different ways. Arlie's a bigger receiver. He's going to go get it off the top shelf. Manny's a quick guy. He's also a matchup nightmare for some DBs. So it's just finding different ways to get guys involved to make it hard on defenses to cover us.
Talking to Malachi Henry, Van Buren native, here on the Nathan Brown Show tonight from Walk-Ons in Conway. And I got to ask you about Durham, and I can't wait to get him on the show at some point. But people talk about how crazy he is. That's the first thing that people mention with him. Well, what's he like? In off the field, on the field, what kind of guy is he?
He is kind of crazy, but the closer you get to him, the funnier he is. You'd think he's quiet if you're just out here in a public setting, but then once you're right next to him, you're like, dude, what is going on with you? But he's awesome. I love Ty.
So after a few games, Malachi, we had 0 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Got a turnover this last week. Didn't turn it over, which was great.
Yep.
But there's one number here right here. I see punt returns. No data to report.
No punt returns.
What is going on? Nobody wants you to touch the football on that back end or anybody on this team when they're back there. What's going on?
I know it's been limited touches, but Coach Cree, I think he just walked in, but he's been trying to scheme ways, trying to chip guys off the edge to create some space back there, and we're yet to get there. But I'm excited for when I do get the chance to catch one.
Well, I don't think you guys have missed any opportunities, Coach. I mean, I've never seen a team that nobody wants to punt it to them. I mean, they're not giving you guys anything on that.
Yeah, I mean, the punts we've had opportunities to do. I mean, it's either a short punt or one or inside the 20, and so you're kind of dummying it out. And I think we fair caught a couple. I mean, it is 4 games in that's very rare. I don't know that I've ever seen that either.
Well, I think you guys are doing a great job. I mean, I think you're really handling it well. And I mean, fair catches are coming when they're supposed to. It's been clean. I mean, but it's weird that hasn't been a return yet, I guess. So.
Right.
We got to get more punts, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, and that'll help and just more opportunities. But I mean, I think it's being creative, manufacturing that opportunity for our talented punt returners to get a shot. And we're working hard on that. And I think, hey, how about a punter miss a kick for once? You know what I mean? Hit one low to us, right?
Yeah,
low and quick.
Well, I mean, the one they hit Sac State went out of bounds, and I feel like they gave him 10 yards. I think went out.
That's a tough thing to spot.
The thing went over my head, and they kept walking down. I'm like, what are we doing here?
I don't give officials too many breaks, but I will say that is a hard thing to do to figure out exactly where.
Well, there's got to be a better way.
I agree.
Than to sit there and go, all right, where was the angle at?
There's a lot of things that certainly it could be fixed.
Yeah.
So tell me about this week and going back on the road, bus trip this week against Lamar, and it's a long trip, but. It's an opportunity for you guys to, get off the schneid, as they say. I mean, you guys have had some tough ones here, and I expect Lamar to bring the heat, too. They're off a bye. I mean, so they're going to be rested and ready. But what are your expectations this week?
I expect for us to go down there and look for that quick start that we've been searching for. We kind of got hit with some untimely penalties last week.
That's kind of been a theme this year.
Mm-hmm. So we went and we felt prepared going to Sacramento, and we got hit with those penalties. Kind of got behind the 8 ball, and then never really got it rolling for real. So, I mean, we got to carry over that game plan into this week.
Yeah,
play cleaner, keep the yellow flag off the green grass, and start turning red zone opportunities into points. But you got to get to the red zone first. Keep that punt unit off the field.
What's really unique is that we are the lowest penalized team in our conference. But it feels like they came at the most in our – if you would have asked me the other day after the game, before I looked at the box score, I would have said we had 9 penalties.
Yeah.
We had 4. And I'm like, all 4 of them were massive.
Were they third down?
I think all 4 of them – or 3 of the 4 took off third down conversions.
I bet you guys – and I'd have to look at the season numbers, Coach, but I bet you guys have had 300 yards of offense negated.
I know.
You go back to the Missouri game, I mean, think how many huge plays were negated by penalty in the Missouri game too. They're out to get us, I tell you. It's been untimely for sure. 21 penalties, 184 yards. Again, certainly over 4 games, you can live with that. But we've had 21 in a game and a half, I think, before. But anyway, well, Malachi, good luck this week. Keep up the good work, and let's Let's go get a win this week, man.
Thank you so much. Let's do it.
I appreciate it. And hopefully your family back at Van Buren heard that okay.
Yeah.
He did a good job. Sorry about that. That was my fault.
Sorry, Mom.
I screwed up.
Love you, Mom.
Yeah. That's nice. All right. Well, we'll take a timeout at 7:42. We'll come back in a minute. Continue on with the Nathan Brown Show again. About to turn the page over to Lamar. A couple of the things from the weekend that was, but looking forward to the trip this week. I don't know that I've ever wanted to go to Beaumont as much as I do this week. I'm excited about this game, and hopefully the Bears can find success on the road this week. It's a big one for them. We'll continue on in a moment and talk about that here from Walk-Ons in Conway. Stick around. All right, welcome back. We're having a relatively short segment here. Before we dig in on Lamar, Coach, just real quick, look back at the league stuff from last week as we welcome you back in here to Walk-Ons in Conway. Again, Bears fall last week on the road at Sacramento State, Illinois State, and North Alabama. And I will tell you this in pregame, Matt Whiting was up in the booth with us. We were watching this one. That was a wild game. North Alabama loses in double overtime, 38-36. They convert on a two-point conversion, Coach, and then it got called back for a penalty. I guess it was, I'm trying to think what it was. It was like, it was a pick play maybe or something.
Mm-hmm.
But then they had to go try to score from the 18. Couldn't get it done and ended up losing a double OT, but that was a wild one. West Georgia has been one of the big surprises in the league so far this year. They have been impressive and thumped Eastern Kentucky 33-12.
That's not easy to do.
Yeah.
Eastern Kentucky's always great. Coach Wells does a good job there, but West Georgia's had a good run. I mean, they're obviously have reloaded with some talent.
Well, Tarleton lost their quarterback, and their backup Greek comes in, throws for a couple hundred yards, 2 touchdowns, and they hammered Chattanooga after a slow start, 52-24. The big surprise, I think, a little bit was, and it ended up being a lot more competitive game by the end, but Abilene Christian handling their business in a very convincing way against Austin Peay, 45-31. The Governors have been very impressive early in the season, and that's a good win for the Wildcats to do it like that.
Abilene's good. Coach Patterson does a great job there. I love him as a coach. Man, they look on the hoof a lot like Tarleton does. I mean, they've done a good job of pumping that program up.
And then you had Utah Tech winning at home against Northern Iowa, and I don't know if this,
big win for the conference.
Huge. And I know that's vintage, but that's a Missouri Valley football conference team, so it's a good win regardless. And interestingly enough, and a lot of people wouldn't probably know this, but UC Davis beat Southern Utah 50-34. Pretty entertaining game. Southern Utah flew out of the same airport that we did. It was adjacent to the Sacramento State Airport, one of their smaller, I guess, private areas. But anyway, so they went off before we did, and then we took off, so it was kind of funny. But they had a tough trip out there, but put up 34 points. So Southern Utah doing some good things on offense for sure.
Yeah, I mean, so I think Delane Fitzgerald does a good job, gets the most out of that program. They're always going to be tough. But, again, that's a tough ask. UC Davis is a top 10 team.
And Lamar is a top 20 team now, Coach. So, again, they benefit from the bye last week. And I guess before we hit the break here, just quick impressions on them, and then we'll dig in on them in the next segment.
Very well coached, physical presence, offense and defense. A lot of athletes on the field, as you'd expect in that area of the country. Their coach has done a great job turning that program around in a short amount of time. Had them as a top 20 team last year when we played them. And then, coming back and doing the same thing. They kind of fell off late in the year last year with some of their wins and loss totals. But he's reloaded. He's done a good job. They play a physical brand of football. I mean, it's going to be kind of an old school matchup. Two teams that like to play physical run game attack and take some shots, and we've got to be ready for it.
Yeah, 23rd in one poll and just outside the coaches poll, but in the stats poll, they're in the top 25. So.
Yep.
And so is Abilene Christian and a bunch of others that the Bears are going to face too. Sacramento State, team they just faced. And, Tarleton hanging around where they were, third, so didn't drop. They're 5-0, and no reason they should.
West Georgia and I believe Austin Peay are in it still as well.
Yeah, Austin Peay 25th right now. West Georgia's 20th now.
Yep.
Sitting at 4-0. They weren't ranked the week before, so they're getting lots of love, Coach. And
as they should.
I mean, hey, look, that's a program. You're in Georgia. It's one of the most, talent-rich states, if not the most talent-rich state in the country. And then you're just outside the Atlanta area, so you got a lot of benefits there.
You don't have to draw a big diameter around Carrollton, Georgia, to get athletes.
Yeah,
there's no question. They've done, that's a hotbed for that.
Yeah, we're thrilled to have in-state guys like Ashton and Malachi, but there are a whole lot of Georgia guys, I'm sure, playing at West Georgia as well.
No question.
All right, let's take our final break. We'll come back and we'll hit Coach with a few questions and get ready for Lamar and a road trip down to Beaumont, Texas, where the Bears have had some good success over the years. Stick around. One more segment tonight on the Nathan Brown Show here from Walk-Ons in Conway. All right, we're back here. Sorry, we're walking down memory lane as we welcome you back in one more segment here at Walk-Ons. And, I was doing my check here, I guess, on Lamar and the Central Arkansas history. The Bears are 10-1 all-time against Lamar. The Bears have never lost in Beaumont, Texas. And there have been some crazy games over the years. And we were just looking back. One of the all-time greatest individual performances ever. Blake Beasley, part of a victory for the Bears in 2015, 35-17 the final. And in that game, had just shy of 300 yards, 292. Coach, I don't know if that's more impressive or the 4 touchdowns. I think the most impressive thing is he had 49 carries.
49.
What are we doing? 49 carries.
Ride the horse.
I don't even remember that being that high. That is insane.
I called those plays, so I guess I was the insane one.
What were you? What do you remember? Because they had Cade Harrington, who was a freak running back too. He had 243 in the game, so it was just a wild affair.
I remember that night. Of those 49 carries, I bet 30 of them was ISO plays, literally ISO, like zoning up, fullback going and blocking the linebacker because they were a too high team, and we just exposed them. It was a good night. Blake did the rest.
You guys have found some interesting ways to win down there, and the last year's game, I mean, you pretty much dominated. Maybe didn't get what you expected, I guess, from pushback standpoint. I know you got a lot of respect for how they do things and the way they play, and you guys kind of handled them a little bit last year.
Well, we've watched that game several times this week as a staff, and man, we had some big plays. Shunderick played very well. Darius ran the ball really well. We were able to manufacture controlling the line of scrimmage. Is at the end of the day, we won the line of scrimmage last year, and don't think for one second they've got a lot of guys back from last year's team. I mean, I don't want to say they're as much as Tarleton, but they're in that same like a bunch of retention in their program. So they're going to remember that game. They're going to remember how it went, and they're going to be probably frustrated and motivated. And we've got to be ready to go. And they're going to be out to prove a point. They've got themselves back in the top 25, so they're going to want to stay in the top 25. And they're going to know this history of success they've had against us. There's going to be a lot on the line, and so we've got to be ready to go. I mean, we've got to be ready to go. Again, it's a good opponent, talented team. I have a ton of respect for them, but they're going to be ready to go, and we're going to have to play good.
I was also looking back here, 26-24. Ryan Howard's first career start as a junior after Winrick Smothers went down, Coach, and comes in and he balled out and helped you guys to a victory, a narrow one on the road down there. So, again, a lot of good memories. This is a team in Lamar that wants to run the football primarily, secondarily. I don't know what's next on that. Tertiarily, I don't know what's next on that. But I mean, this is a team that definitely wants to pound the rock. I mean, so what's the defensive, I guess, challenge this week against this team?
Well, I don't think it changes any week. I think you just got to play gap sound football. I mean, if we've got enough in the box to control the run game, we've got to control the run game. And by controlling the run game, that means that we've got to be have our eyes in the right spot for play action game. Have our eyes, our secondary. Being on point, when to drop, when to bail, when am I man, when am I zone, all that stuff. Because when you get so keyed in on a team that's running the ball and that's the dimension they want to do, it can get you locked into that. And you cut guys loose. So we got to have eye discipline. We've obviously got to make plays when the ball is in our gap. We got to do some unselfish, dirty work. I'm sure right up front. We've got to be able to control double teams. We've got to be able to control gaps so that we can let our runners run. So. It'll be a gap sensitive week, and I look forward to watching our defense perform.
This year in their 3 games, again coming off a bye, I'm sure they worked on some things in the past game. Lamar, by the way, 2-1 and coming off that bye, but their 3 games, North Texas was mismatch obviously, 88 yards passing against South Dakota, a team that was ranked at the time, pretty high actually at the time, had 65 yards passing and 81 against Texas Southern. So again, you get to 2-1. By throwing for less than 100 yards in 3 games, by running it well and playing great defense, Coach.
Of course, and they have played very good defense. Their defense, to me, is a strong point of their team. Very talented on that side of the ball. Very good front 4 on their defensive line. Very active, very aggressive, very, very athletic. So we're going to have our hands full. They're going to stunt and twist and do some different fronts that'll put you in some tough situations, but we're preparing for that. We'll be ready for that, and hopefully we can counter that with some of the stuff we're able to create and do, and hopefully we're pretty balanced. So that makes it tough on a defense.
It'd be nice to be able to jump on a plane and be down there in an hour and just jump off and be in Beaumont. But it's a road trip down this week, and again, there can be some benefits. We talked about that. I mean, going on the road sometimes bring guys closer together, and again, there's only one way out, and that's up and through. So It starts this week. What's the plan for you guys?
We'll push off Friday morning. Stay in the same hotel we've stayed in Beaumont probably 6-7 times.
Yeah, I wouldn't change that.
Yeah, we look. There's greener pastures at the end of this. At the end of the day, like there's not a 4-game stretch. We got the Sargans rated 3rd hardest schedule in the country right now.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about that. We've had a tough schedule, a tough run. Do we want to be 1-3? No, but we are, and we're a 1-3 football team. So let's do something about it. We've got an opportunity to get better this week in 3 practices. Go get on that bus. Have a good attitude. Know that we're talented enough. Know that we're good enough. Have the confidence, and let's go win a football game.
All right. I like it. Well, good luck this week, Coach. Safe travels. We'll see you down there.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man.
Me too. All right. It's in Beaumont. It's a 6 o'clock kick, and we will bring it to you 5 o'clock on the UCA Radio Network on the Bear here in Conway, and also on the Point 94.1 back in Little Rock. So looking forward to it. We'll be back here at Walk-Ons next Monday night to recap it all for you and then look ahead to Hall of Fame weekend. Back home on the Stripes the following weekend, 4 o'clock for Utah Tech, 2 weeks away. So looking forward to both those games coming up. Thanks to Doug Kramer back in the studio. For Coach Brown, I'm Justin Acree. Thanks for being with us. And we will join you next week on the Nathan Brown Show. Good night, everybody.